Hello, my guys. Welcome to another episode of the Microwave King. See, all Chelsea fans right now are very, very happy. A whole lot is going on with Chelsea fans right now because Chelsea fans are very ecstatic. Chelsea fans are very, very happy. When your club they sign players, when your club, makes you happy with the way they sign players and with the way they do their own business, it's cause for joy, it cause for celebration. Arsenal fans are also happy because of the signing of Gyökeres. Manchester United fans are happy and not happy as well. So it's yeah. So you're welcome. So Arsenal fans are happy and not happy as well. So a whole lot is going right. A whole lot right now is going in the transfer market. But the news that just actually broke in the last few minutes is concerning Gerald Hato, who Chelsea has actually confirmed him being a new Chelsea player, and he will head to medical anytime soon. So what is signing for Chelsea fans? I know all Chelsea fans around the world right now are very, very happy, of this news. But we have some guests right here to, join us. Today we have a very diehard Manchester United fan and also Chelsea fan as well. So today we actually want to discuss a little bit about Hato, a little bit about some major signings that have been made already this summer. And also we will be talking about majorly in the next 1 hour about the coaches, the teams, in the Premier League, who within the first 6 coaches on the thumbnail that is really under pressure, this season. Because trust me, this season is going to be very, very tough, and so many teams will be under severe pressure. But to me today, we have Kome. Is a very diehard Chelsea fan who has been supporting Chelsea for a very, very long time, and I've been wanting to bring him up for a while now. So Kome, good to have you here. Please say hello to everybody.
Hello, everyone. You're welcome.
You're welcome. So also we have football family. This is a very big diehard Manchester United fan. He has been, anything about Manchester United is there. Anything that relates to Amorim, anything that relates to Old Trafford is there. So we are happy to have you in our midst today as well. So say hello to everybody, bro.
Yes, guys, it's good to be. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good.
Yes, it's good to be here. It's good to be able to talk about football once again. The league is fast approaching, and we need to be ready by the time the season starts. So it's going to be a really big season for every single team, not just Manchester United, but other teams also. But then with United, we just need to watch how the transfer window is going to go. And so far, two exciting signings, and we want more, we need more, and hopefully we can get more. So let's get to the show properly.
Yeah, so if you are joining us for the first time, please, you know what to do. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to this channel because we'll be having live like this every single week, to dissect and to talk a whole lot about football and the major stories concerning the game as well. This is the transfer season. This is the transfer period. So there's a whole lot we're going to, touch about transfers, today in today's show. So first of all, as a Manchester United fan now, let me start with you. Let me start with the Chelsea fan because of the news that just broke. So, as a Chelsea fan now, Kome, what do you think about the signing of Hato? Because this has been, brewing up for the longest period of time. Chelsea has been expecting this signing for quite some time, because of how, Cucurella has been. Cucurella is the only player in Chelsea that doesn't have a backup. No matter how Chelsea have played, whether Premier League, Champions League, Premier League, Conference League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Cucurella is the only player that plays every single game. And now having signing Hato is a very, very good one for Chelsea fans because this is a very, very good news. Chelsea is not just signing a young player, Chelsea is signing somebody who could actually deputize for Cucurella because trust me, this guy can actually, hold his own against any defender. Yes, he's very young, he's just 19. But tell me what you think about the signing of Gerald Hato to Chelsea.
The signing of Hato is very, 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 very. It will profit us because he's a versatile player that can play left back and the central half too. So he's going to to free the burden for Cucurella so much, because we have been crying for this, for somebody to a replacement for Cucurella in case of injury throughout the season, because the season is very long. Now we are in the Champions League, we have the League Cup to play, we have the Carabao Cup, so many competitions. So Cucurella need more rest because of injury, so we can feel somebody there to help out when the season kick off very well, because December is a very, very busy time for players. Injuries, a lot of game time. A week you play more than 3 to 4 times. So we really need this guy. We really need this guy. To me, I would prefer Chelsea go for another left back, like that attacking left back like Cucurella. We need that type of player, just like the way we know Shiwe of that time, Alonso. We are good in making good left back signings. So I really need that versatile player, like somebody like Cucurella to me. But Ato is a good player, a young lad, just 19 years old. He still need to learn so much, like the pace of the Premier League. We all knew when Chelsea signed Cucurella, that season was a blunder. But this last campaign was superb. To me, it's one of the best left back in the world right now. In the world of football, it's one of the best left back in the world of football right now. Nuno Mendes, I give him his kudos, but you can see Cucurella, he attacks, he come back like he's just like somebody that is taking something to like ginger the blood every time. Man, Ato is a good signing to me. Ato is a good signing. We need that cover for Cucurella.
Yeah. Very, very, very important, because Cucurella is one of a kind. Yes, so sometimes when you come to the club for the very first time, it takes a while for you to acclimatize into the environment, for you to get used to your teammates, this plan and everything. So I understand that for a fact. Cucurella is a kind of player that he has changed his game, because before this season, we understand how Cucurella used to be at the time. Chelsea wanted loaning him out to Manchester United at some point, but having him, play this so good and be one of the best left backs in the world at this point. Kudos to Maresca, kudos to the Chelsea team as a whole for giving this player a different look entirely. Because at one point he was almost a Manchester United player because of how he was being criticized and everything. But having somebody now take over from him, learn the ropes from him, because at some point in time injuries can come up, a whole lot of things can come up. So it's a very, very good thing having somebody come up and help him out because of fatigue, injuries, and a whole lot. So let me hear from Manchester United fan before he leaves. What do you think about this particular signing for Chelsea? I know you're not a Chelsea fan, but at least you should have one or two things to say about this particular player and what he can bring to the club.
Okay, I think Vela is a very good player. Since he joined Chelsea, I know it's always easy to move from like a smaller club into a bigger club, and that's a different ball game entirely. So sometimes, if you are in a smaller team, you have like the more freedom. The pressure in those teams are not like when you move to a bigger team. So when he moved to Chelsea, he actually struggled in that first season to be able to adapt to the pressure and everything. But with the success he has had with Chelsea, even also with the national team in Spain, playing regularly, I gave him more confidence. And this season, he actually showed that yes, he's a good player and he still has gears to go. He still has a lot of improvement to do. And with this Chelsea team, with the type of squad they are trying to build, a young squad, a young team, and I feel like the confidence is there now. He understands the pressure and what it means to play for a big side in Chelsea. And I think he's just going to go get higher, higher, and higher. The period he was linked with United, I actually wanted the moves to happen because I was like, this is a player that we saw the potential at Brighton. It's not easy for a player to perform in a smaller team and show the potential. So for the player to show that, it's just like Casedio too. Casedio, for instance, when he moved to Chelsea, his first season was not the best, but then his second season, now you can see Casedo. People are enjoying his performance now, but we always knew that this quality was there. It's not a quality thing. that player is actually a good player, but it takes time. When you move to a bigger team, it takes time for you to be able to perform consistently week in, week out for a bigger team. And I think Cucurella now he has found a way to do that and he's doing it.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. So this is what I think about Hato. Congratulations to all Chelsea fans, because Chelsea fans, for me, I would say I've been crying for this transfer for a very long time. I felt so bad for Cucurella last season when Viega left, because of the fact that Viega was supposed to be the Cucurella understudy, but he was not giving. Cucurella was not patient enough. Yes, I understand how it is when you come to a big club that you have so much pressure, on you. Uh, he was supposed to be the Cucurella understudy, but yes, he's being used versatilely. He can play in centre back, can play in midfield, and all of that. But what broke the camel's back last season was when Cucurella was, I think he was suspended at some point in the Premier League. He got like a yellow card thereabout, and he was supposed to miss one game. Viega was expecting to start, but Maresca, in his knowledge, thinks that, man, this guy is not ready yet, for the Premier League, and he puts him on the bench. So at that point, that was when this whole issue with Viega started, and Viega felt like, I'm not needed here, and I had to leave. But that being said, I think for Ato, this is a very, very good signing. I love how Chelsea are actually integrating young players into the squad. Yes, Chelsea are supposed to keep Ishe Samuel Smith, who left for Strasbourg. But Ishe Samuel Smith, I don't think he's ready right now for the Premier League. There's one thing to have an understudy to a particular player. There's another thing to have somebody that can match up his quality and somebody that can give him a run for his money and to challenge him to get better, But at this point, if Chelsea would have brought Ishe Samuel Smith, that just went to Strasbourg on a permanent deal, into the squad for Cucurella, he's not going to give Cucurella that challenge that Cucurella is looking for to actually improve. So that was the best thing to let him go, because at Chelsea, keeping him in the circle of the club Chelsea own is very good, because you are keeping this quality. Why? Because in little or no time, this guy can become better. Look at what Diego Moreira is doing right now at Strasbourg. Valentino Bacco wasn't doing so well at Brighton. He was very young. Brighton had to loan him to Sevilla. All right, he's played one season to Sevilla, then Chelsea, that Strasbourg actually bought him. Now he's doing so well, at Strasbourg. Look at what Santos did at Strasbourg last season. Look at what Petrovic did at Strasbourg last season. So keeping your players within your network is very good in case of buyback, bringing them back to the club. So I think it's a very good deal. Then for Hato, this is a very quality player for me. I think this guy will surpass expectation. What I like about him is he can play in multiple positions. He can play left back, he can play left wing back, he can play attack. That is what I like about him. But trust me, this guy is going to challenge. When Cucurella is tired, when Cucurella is not fit enough, this guy can sit, for Cucurella. He can also deputize for Cucurella when probably yellow card, injuries, and all of that. So having him come into the squad, fantastic deal for me. This is one of the best deal I think Chelsea has done this summer. Chelsea are still going to do more. Chelsea are still going to go into the market and get defenders. That is very, very important, as well as these signings that Chelsea are making right now. It's not only about left back, midfield, or attack. Those defenders are easily wear out, are easily worn out during the course of the season. And we saw it happened last season with Fofana. Fofana injured. A whole lot of them went out of form. So I think Chelsea needs to also prioritize central back. This guy is also a centre back, can also play centre back and left back, but that's right centre back with Fofana injury should be actually looked at. So that being said, now let's go into today's main proper. I'll start with you, football family. The thing is, for Manchester United, how would you rate last season for Manchester United? First,
I feel like
before going to this season.
There is no rating last season. There is nothing to rate, my bro. Finishing 15th, a team as big as Manchester United, I don't think there's anything to rate. It was like a shambolic season. This is the worst season anyone would ever think of. I'm a young Manchester United fan, and I've never seen my team this bad. In the last 10, 12 years, it has gone from bad to worse. Every season, we always want to change. The manager that we claim that is good, all of a sudden is no longer good. We want to change it. There's always the different discussion. This manager needs to get so players. He gets the players. It will not work out. We have to sell. We have to sack the coach. It has been from bad to worse in the last in the last couple of seasons. Last season just crowned it up. I feel like what happened last season has been it was coming already. We were seeing 8th position, 7th position, but this 15 is the height of it. I don't think there's anything worse any United fan could expect. But now looking at this season, if I can go into it quickly because I might have to leave anytime soon.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I get it.
this season, I feel like we all are just optimistic. Yes, we've gotten in two good players, Matthias Cunha, Bayern Mbeumo, good attacking players. Like if you are going to say the top 5, top 6 attacking players last season, Mbeumo and Cunha are in that conversation. And we struggled to score goals last season. Goals was like we had chances, likes of Oyland, Garnacho, all these guys were missing a lot of chances last season. So now getting Mbeumo and Cunha, you're adding goals and assists into the attack. But then looking at that midfield, we don't know what's going on with the midfield already. We still have Casemiro here. We don't know which midfield partnership is going to be the best for the season. Yes, in the West Ham game in preseason, we saw an improvement in the way they play. It used to be aggressive. They were trying to keep the possession and attacking. They look good, but that's preseason. In the season, you have to play 38 games. You have to play consistently week in, week out, which is a different ball game. So that's why I don't really get excited about preseason and the rest because the season proper is what I want to know about. We still need a couple more signings. We still need a midfielder. We still need a striker. Yes, we are linked with Benjamin Sesko. Yes, with Benjamin Sesko, the potential is there. You can see the potential of if it works out, he can become a very good striker. But then we got Oyland because of potential. We have a couple of players we've gotten based on the potential the player has, but that has not materialized in the last couple of years. And that's why I feel a lot of Manchester United fans want Oli Watkins because they feel like he's Premier League proven. He has scored the goals in the Premier League. At least he guarantees you 15 goals every season in the Premier League. Yes, the age is not on his side, but with a player like that, he will hit the ground running. Not like Benjamin Sesko, that you now have to start giving him time and it might not work out. And if it doesn't work out, buying a player for 70, 80 million and it doesn't work out, I think that's really bad investment. So it's still both ways. We still have a couple of things to do, but now the manager has no excuse. I'm one of the fans that I was not hammering him out. Yes, I know he had a very bad season. He told them already, I don't want to come in January. I want to wait till the end of the season because he understands his tactics. He understands that it takes time for it to work. But now he has no excuse. Now he's having a preseason with the players. He already knows the players that are not good enough. He knows the ones that are good enough. Now he needs to work with them and they need to improve. And if they don't, the manager will be gone by December. If we start this season and it's still as worse as it is, when it gets to December, January, I won't be shocked if Amorim goes. But I just want them to give him the opportunity they give it to other managers. We have the likes of Mourinho, they got the opportunity, they got the signing. We have the likes of Van Gaal, they got the opportunity, they got their signings. Same with Ole and the rest. So I want them to give Amorim that same opportunity. And now it has to work out. If it doesn't work out, I know it would go. But I'm just hopeful that it works out with Amorim because we've been going through round and circles, sacking a lot of managers, trying to see the one that is going to work. And up till now, we've not still figured that out. So I just hope Amorim can get it together. Whatever formation he wants to play, the player can understand this and deliver and perform week in, week out. Now, no Champions League. No, we don't have a lot of games. It's mainly the league and maybe the Carabao Cup and the rest. So we should actually be able to focus on building a proper team. And that's what I hope for. But then I am just hopeful. I can't stand there and tell you that Man is going to finish top 10 next season. I can't stand there and tell you they're going to finish top 6 next season. But I'm just hopeful that something can change and we can see improvements. And with a couple of players we will get in, they can take the quality of the squad to the next level.
Yeah, I understand. So that's a very good one concerning Manchester United. So as a Manchester United fan right now, before you leave, who are you looking forward to, this season to actually, do something different? Which player would actually, you're looking forward to this season to actually perform better and to probably change the face of the club or to change how, the form and how the club is being seen? Okay, probably that guy is having network issues. So as a Chelsea fan now, Kome, as a Chelsea fan now, how would you rate last season's performance coupled with coupled with the qualification for the Champions League, coupled with everything that happened last season, the Conference League and everything. So how would you rate, last season as a whole for Chelsea?
Uh, Last season was a bit okay to me. Last season was a good season. We at the end we qualified for the Champions League, which is one of the what we have been aiming to get for the past 2 seasons. So getting the Champions League, winning the Conference League and the Club World Cup, and the new players we have added lately, you can see the team. Chelsea is one team to watch for this season, but nobody knows. If you remember, I predict the Club World Cup for you, 3-1 or 2-1. But it ended 3-0. So, Chelsea this season, I want to see Maresca do, not inverting too much. Just tell the player what you want for them. Okay, this is what I want you to do. If this, okay, you track back. When you go, track back, attack. I just want to see a different ball game this season, not like what we have been seeing last season, ups and downs. Like the players I want to play, because Estavo is coming. Delap is there. If Xavi Simons, now if we can get him over the line, Xavi Simons will be in the midfield. So these too many players, but we know there are a lot of competition to play. The Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and the Premiership. So we just need to have our main team like rotate the way we used to rotate throughout the Conference League, but not that much rotation, so that the players can understand themselves, know what to play, and when you gel a team playing for more than 2, 3, 4, 5 months, they know themselves. More than 5 games, more than 6 games, they know what they can do. You can see Cucurella tracking back, coming back, tracking, going. The same thing with Gusto too. Maybe this season we might see a lot of Gusto playing just that right back. Resilience might be in the midfield, supporting Casedo or anytime. Maybe when we need that from that 2 to work very well, for that attacking 2, we need James there normally more than Gusto. Gusto sometimes the player as if he's still a baby or playing the French league. This is not French, this is Premiership. So I really want Chelsea to let's fight for the league. We are seeing the way Liverpool is strengthening everywhere. They are trying to get it sacked now. Next season will be tough. Next season will be really, really tough. It will be one of the sweetest season I've ever seen in football next season, the way I'm seeing it. Because if you can look, everybody is trying to buy 1 or 2 players to these big 6 teams now. Apart from Manchester United, have not gotten any good striker very well this season. This season will be tough. That's why I'm still begging Chelsea, the owners of Chelsea, to give Jackson chance to leave Jackson in that team, because there's injuries. Even this Joao Pedro is injury prone. So I'm not saying that Joao Pedro can play 38 matches without injury. So we need all our players. We need that player to come in to change the game, even if that our main player is not there. So we need everybody, like what Chelsea is doing now. They have more than 3, 4 players in one position in everywhere to strengthen the team everywhere. And that's what we want. I want this season to be a super season for we, because I can tip Chelsea winning this league. Because I know Chelsea is a compact team. Maresca, but sometimes Maresca is just like Guardiola when their tactics sometimes enter their head. Yes. Their tactics sometimes, I don't understand Maresca tactics at times. They just do some stupid changes, some stupid rotation that we are fair to. We know we can't play well. That's why I'm not a fan of a central defender using left leg. I'm not a fan. I prefer a central defender using right foot or both legs. But me, I prefer a central defender using right foot than left foot. You can see Badishi. Badishi, his name can tell you bad player. Badishi is one of the anytime that guy, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, Badishi is one of our worst defenders.
You're not really convinced with the defense and letting players be right. So that's what you're trying to
Yeah.
say in essence. But the main discourse here is I actually want to touch like these clubs, both Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester United briefly. Then because the main thing is I need to know I want to talk about who's going to be under pressure this season because this thing is mostly about the coaches. Who's really going to be under pressure this season? So we've talked about Manchester United, we've talked about Chelsea. Now let's talk about Liverpool before Manchester City and Arsenal a bit. Then we'll go into the coaches because of time. So now, for Manchester United, for Arsenal, they've signed quite some few players. They've signed Madueke. They've signed quite some few players already. It's a very good one for Arsenal fan because this season for them is like a make or break season for Arsenal. For Mikel Arteta as well. They signed Madueke to be the understudy to Saka and also fight for his place in the team. They are still going to keep Trossard. Martinelli is still in the team. They have brought in Victor Gyökeres. They have brought in some, a defender, into the team as well. So they are probably building stronger. They are probably trying to, get better and everything. But that being said, do Arsenal stand a chance this season because of how the expectation of the team for the last couple of seasons, how Arsenal has been, do they stand a chance due to the fact that they've signed players? This is like the 6th season for Mikel Arteta coming into the into the club or into Arsenal as a team coming from the Manchester City, being an assistant to Guardiola and winning just one FA Cup after spending so much money into the squad. Do Arsenal actually stand a chance this season, coupled with how their last season performance is, everything that happened last season, who they've signed, this season? Do they stand a chance of actually, picking up a trophy this season?
The only trophy I can give Arsenal is maybe Carabao Cup or FA Cup. For that league, Arsenal should forget about the league. Arsenal is not winning the league. I give Arsenal 100 years, they will not win that league. That league is not meant for Arsenal. And be serious, because if you can look, Arsenal have their own time. They're supposed to win this league. They bottle it. So Arsenal time has passed. Don't be surprised. Next season, there's one club that the people are not saying anything now. They are just forming as if they are not doing anything. It's Manchester City. They are just forming as if Guardiola is just quiet. If you can look throughout the transfer market now, Man City have not done anything. They are just being relaxed. I bet you if Manchester City can click, that's the end. Guardiola knows what to do. Guardiola knows what to do. He's a tactician. So I don't see Arsenal winning the league.
So how about Liverpool?
Liverpool are the favorite to win this league. Liverpool are the favorite. They are doing a good business, but it's not easy to just bring new players in to just click
like that. Yeah, easily.
Yeah, they were lucky. They keep hold of Salah. They were lucky because I don't see Liverpool doing the league back to back. I don't see them. I'm still scared. The person I'm scared of in this Premiership is Manchester City. It's Manchester City, the person I'm scared of. And I know as Arteta may be sacked at the end of the season. If he goes trophyless again for the 7th year, he will be sacked. Or 6 years or thereabout. So I don't see Arsenal as a threat. I don't see Arsenal as a threat. If you can remember when we played Arsenal last week, they won us. Timber was telling our manager to be humble or something like that. remember this day, I would just watch what will happen. Maybe when Chelsea play Arsenal in Stamford Bridge or in Emirates and Chelsea won. Watch what will happen. That thing will come up. At the end of the season, we'll know who will be humble. Just like we ended the season with 2 trophies. Arsenal trophy they won was beating Real Madrid home and away. That's the only trophy they won. So we know Arsenal. We know even their fans, their delusion. So we know them. We know Arsenal fans very well. So I don't. Arsenal is not a threat to me in that league. Only have 2 people that is a threat: Manchester City and Liverpool. And Liverpool signing Isak. Isak is a Premiership proven striker. Isak is a very deadly finisher. It's a very deadly finisher. I wish Chelsea have not signed so many players like this. I know if it was the time of Roman Abramovich, we would have gotten this boy. I know what Abramovich would have done to be clean and ASAP. Abramovich would have paid back. So I don't see Arsenal as a threat.
So the thing is, for Arsenal now, Arsenal have signed quite some few players to help Mikel Arteta this season. What's different right now with this current Arsenal is not the fact that they just signed Victor Gyökeres or something. It's the sporting director, and this is a different style of signings entirely, because the Arsenal we know in the last couple of seasons, they are not a kind of team that would take the bull by the horn. This is a man who, between Real Madrid and Barcelona, he won the league. Not once, with Atletico Madrid. Yes, he has spent some, huge amount of money by signing João Felix, from Benfica, and it didn't really work out. He have, signed some couple of players. He was the one who signed Luis Suarez from Barcelona. He signed Rodri. He signed some very good players for Atletico Madrid. And at the end of the day, most of them actually work out. And we could see the competitiveness of Atletico Madrid, in the last couple of seasons. Champions League, the La Liga, they are always competing. They are always up there. So to me, I think this particular sporting director is building something with Arsenal. It will take time. I know. I understand that fight. It will take time. But how long is Arsenal fans going to wait? They've been waiting for a very, very long time, for the longest of time. Since 2020, they've been waiting. No, when I mean since 2020, I'm talking about Mikel Arteta's time, not from 2004 when they've been trophyless. So it's over 21 years now, and Arsenal has not won the league. So that being said, for Arsenal, I think this is a make or break season for Arsenal. Mikel Arteta will be under severe pressure this season, not just for the fact that he hasn't won it since he came, but for the fact that he will be compared to the likes of Enzo Maresca. Enzo Maresca came, and in his first season, he has qualified for the Champions League. In his first season, he has won, the Conference League. In his first season, he has won the Club World Cup. So he will be compared to the likes of Enzo Maresca. That's on the side. Also, Mikel Arteta will be judged on the fact that he has spent a whole lot of money since becoming the Arsenal coach. Because when he came to Arsenal, from 2020 up to now, it's over close to $1 billion that he has spent. And having the FA Cup, the only trophy to show for it, is not just failure. It is more than D7 at this point. You know what I mean when I mean D7. So it is failure for Arsenal at this point. I'm not saying that because I'm a Chelsea fan, but the fact is Arsenal has not actually met up to expectation in the last couple of seasons. But to me, I think this season is a make or break season for Arsenal. It's either they win, probably for Arsenal fans to actually see progression, for Arsenal fans to actually see hope. Arsenal has to probably get at least to the final or to the final or semi-final of the Champions League, challenge for the Premier League. In fact, win the Premier League, win the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup. That's when you know that, oh yes, Arsenal are progressing, because at this point, you cannot be stagnant for too long. Arsenal have been stagnated for a long period of time. Winning the FA Cup in the last 6 years is nothing short of failure for the Arsenal team. This season, last season, Crystal Palace won the FA Cup. Newcastle won the Carabao Cup. Arsenal went trophyless. The only thing they could show for it as an for Arsenal was just beating Real Madrid, at the quarterfinal of the Champions League or the semi-final, I don't know, of the Champions League. But this season has to be a very, very important season for Arsenal. This is not banter. This is me being honest. This is a very, very important season for Arsenal. They need to at least have a trophy to show something that, yes, they are progressing, not just being stagnated and being in one particular aspect or being in one particular sport for too long. It will get to a point, Arsenal fans who are, being, supporting Arteta, at some point they will get tired and they will want Arteta out. So it is this season, having Vitor Gyökeres coming is a very huge signing, and that is a marquee signing. That is a statement signing, and Arsenal has to win something. It is very, very important. So the first club to me that will be under severe pressure this season is Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. All right. Now, let me talk about Liverpool before I ask you about Liverpool again. Liverpool has been making signing. This is the team that does won the the Premier League. So for a team that does won the Premier League, they have tasted success. They understood how success is. In the last 5 years, they've won the Premier League twice. They've challenged Manchester City over and over and over again. So they've tested it and they've understood how success is. So the fact is now for Liverpool is not just the Premier League now. They've not lost so many players. Yes, they lost Luis Diaz to Bayern Munich in the last couple of days, and they lost Diogo Jota, RIP to him. Apart from that, they are not losing their key players. In fact, they are signing in more quality. They've lost Alexander Arnold to Real Madrid, and they've replaced him with a quality player as well. You understand? So they've understood how success is, and they want to still ride on that success, not just competing for the Premier League, but going a step further to win the Champions League, which is very, very important to very, very important to the Liverpool team, because you cannot sign this amount of player with this huge amount of money. Florian Wirtz 130 million, I mean 120 million. They are going to sign Isak 130 million. They signed Ekitike 95. They signed Kekes 40. They signed Frimpong 30 or 40. You cannot have all these signings and you will not challenge for the title, or you will not challenge for the Champions League. So also, I would love to say, or I would say, that Arne Slot is also under pressure, because having this kind of severe signings, these are strategic signings as well, and are very, very important signings. You cannot have this kind of signing and you won't win a trophy. A trophy should be on the table for Liverpool at the end of the season. And now I'm not talking about Carabao Cup and FA Cup. Liverpool has passed that. With this kind of signing, they should be aiming for the Champions League. That is their yardstick. That is why I would place them. I would place them as a Champions League title contenders, not the Premier League at this point. Yes, they might win the Premier League. It will be difficult for them to win the Premier League because other teams right now are strengthening. So most teams right now are trying to get better and get the squad put together and everything. But apart from that, the Champions League is the minimum, for Liverpool. Reaching the final of the Champions League, I think, is a very, very good one for Liverpool. So, what do you think about Liverpool's, the pressure that will be mounted on Arne Slot and on the team this season?
Liverpool is under pressure too. Because if first season improve the word wrong that I'm the manager of Liverpool, this is not my players, but I'm going to use them. Yeah. And you use them. If you notice, not change any style of play, just continue the way Klopp left the team, the same players, the same style. You just add one or two players, okay. Gangberg just play the defensive midfield, just add one or two players to the team. Even if Liverpool
just Chiesa. That was the only signing Liverpool made last season.
Yes, I know. Even Liverpool, if Liverpool, after all these many signings, spending a lot, they end up not winning the league. It will not be pressure on Arne Slot or Liverpool, because the pressure will be on Arsenal, because Arsenal, every season Arsenal will tell you this is our season, this is our season, this is our season, this is our season, this is our season. We don't know when that season is going to end. Arsenal fans are so funny. They will tell you this is our season. So the pressure is not on Liverpool. I'm still saying it. Liverpool might still win this league with ease again. Or Man City can still win this league with ease. To me, Arteta is under pressure. Amorim is under pressure. Even Maresca is under pressure. Maresca is under pressure, so he has to like do something. Maybe win, maybe go far in the Champions League. Maybe we'll get to the quarterfinal or the semi-finals. It will be a good one, yes. The boys, because it is a young team. It will be a good one. Okay, we are building something. We are trying to build something. Nobody is expecting Chelsea to do this. They are just trying. They are trying. You know, normally we are always underdogs going into any competition.
Mm-hmm.
So Maresca is under pressure to prove himself in Europe this season, not Conference League, in Champions League. I just want to see what Chelsea will play in this our group stage of the Champions League before I will tell you where we'll get to in the Champions League. And maybe the first 5 games of the season, when the season kicks off. If you notice, most of our 5 or 4 first matches are London derbies. 4 or 5, the first 4 or 5, they are London derbies.
Yeah.
All true. So I really want Maresca to do something for we the Chelsea fans, for Maresca to like stick with his plan. I see Liverpool winning this league with ease. I see them winning this league with ease, but it's not going to be easy. Man City is there. Chelsea is there. Arsenal is there. I thank God Arsenal has the striker now. They have been crying for that. They want to win league with him. I don't see Gyökeres scoring close to 15 goals or more than 15 goals in the Premiership this season.
What people?
No, not what people. I'm being serious.
What people?
Gyökeres have been in the Premiership before. He has played in England.
No, he did not play in the Premier League, though. He did not play.
Yes. In England.
Yes, he played in England.
You can't use Sporting League to Portuguese League to compare the Premiership. Just watch what will happen. You people will just like Manchester United number 9. Everybody is seeing what he did in Italy. He can't prove himself in England. Premiership is too fucking strong for them. Premiership is not a. It's not a. Even street football stuff is stronger than Portuguese league.
Strong
We are
banter.
but we know what we are saying now.
Strong banter.
Come here, Baba. Baba, come here.
But we know
Line up for your mat.
that made me be worried, boy.
Worry.
Yes, to the world.
See, but my brother, I would strongly disagree with you, my brother. Come here. Shout out to you. Shout out to Michael. Apologies for jumping on the stream late. I just finished a stream now. You've been making very good point, my brother. But I would want to disagree. I don't think I hear your concern. There's been this debate about strikers translating what they are doing in the Portuguese league into the Premier League, and there's been the talk out there with Benjamin Sesko. I don't know. I'm hearing feedback. I don't know. It's from my hand.
Okay. I'll mute it. It's from Kume's end.
Okay. So I think I'm not sure it's from Kume's end. It seems like it's from my end, though. Maybe it's from my hand. I don't know. But I've been having some connectivity issues today. So, but maybe that's the reason why we'll be hearing the feedback. But like I was saying, like I was saying with respect to Victor Gyökeres, I think Arsenal have got a good striker. Maybe it's the Arsenal fan in me talking, but yes, there's also the concerns with players coming in from the Portuguese league to be able to translate what they are doing there. But 15 goal mark, that's where I would disagree with my brother Kome. I think like this coming season, yes, he has got that chip on his shoulder to be able to do what he's doing with the sporting team, but this guy looks like a more proven player than the player who joined Brighton some years ago. When he joined Brighton, he came relatively very young, at a very young age. He was a striker who was, I think that was the first time he was leaving his country, Sweden, in my opinion, when he moved to Brighton, because we all know how Brighton tried to catch them young. I was reading how he started playing from the small club in his local city, and how he moved up way to a big team in Sweden before he made the move to Brighton and over beyond. So in my opinion, he was not able to get the chance then. But yes, he was a younger player. He was a player who was still developing at that early stage of his development, because I've also listened to some of his teammates, some players who played with him at Brighton, some players who played with him also at Coventry, and one thing they could say is the guy has really improved. Some of them did not expect him to get to this level. Some also were saying that yes, they saw that this guy was also willing to work hard, because one thing I think I've learned with the guy is he was not super talented when it comes to his finishing, but he was talented with his size, because he's the big boy naturally and he had pace. So that made him able to play in English football, because we know that English football is very physical, very fast, very competitive in terms of physicality, and you need to work hard. But he showed at Coventry that he wanted to work hard. He showed that he wanted to get better with his finishing, because at Brighton, he was not a natural finisher, according to some people who saw him finish then. But he was able to willing to do the extra mile. Like he was able to willing to, do the extra finishing practice, stay after the general training section to continue to do finishing drill. And the guy has turned into a monster when it comes to goals. And for me, I look at that player and look at the Arsenal team, look at Mikel Merino, look at Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz had his best scoring season in England with Arsenal. This was a player who could not say the same thing at the Chelsea team. So for me, if the Arsenal team can able to, produce that kind of chances for a player like Kai, for example, to hit that numbers, then also Mikel Merino when Kai Havertz got injured, when Gabriel Jesus got injured, talk more of a striker who has shown in the last 2 years that is one of the best finishers in the world. So I think if Victor Gyökeres comes into this Arsenal team, he stays fit, because availability is the best quality right now. If he's able to stay fit and Arsenal continue to produce, their wingers continue to produce the way they've been producing for the likes of Mikel Merino, the likes of Kai Havertz, I think he will be able to hit the 15 to 20 goal mark very easy, in my opinion. So that's where I disagree with my brother Kome. But Kome, go on. Shout out to you, my brother.
So the thing is that according to what you just said now, the fact is you are not concerned about the whole what's it called, Portuguese league not being too what's it called, and all of that. And that is the player you are looking forward to this season for Arsenal going into this season, because trust me, I was saying before you came on that this will be a very, very scrutinized season for Mikel Arteta, because he has been profitless for quite some time, and he will be under severe and massive pressure this season. Because trust me, you cannot spend a whole lot of money, close to $1 billion, since you've started, since you started the Arsenal project up to this point, and you've not actually won a major trophy that is expected of you to win, like the Premier League, Champions League, or whatever, coming into the Arsenal project. We're talking about the 5 out of the 5 coach, because we are actually taking it one by one.
I think we've lost Mike. I don't know, Mike, if you can hear us. Maybe you can respond. Hopefully we'll get Mike back on the stream. But Mike was talking about the 5 coaches in the Premier League and potentially who will be under the most pressure to succeed, who will be under the most pressure to win the league. For me personally, I would say it will be Mikel Arteta because Arsenal seems like yes, Oga Kome. I have to call a spade a spade. People know me. People who know me know that I'm a very realistic and genuine Arsenal fan. I think it will be Mikel Arteta's season to win the league. If he does not win the league now, wahala day, as our people will say, problem day. Because yes, in the last 3 seasons, Arsenal have come second, and it seems like the club is suffering from a serious case of seconditis. And now this season, they are giving you the striker that you've been saying, okay, you need. A lot of people have been saying the striker is the missing link, which I think Arsenal still need more than that striker. Arsenal still need a left winger, and Arsenal still potentially need another number 10 that will come into the team to give us something different from what Martin Odegaard would give, and also push Martin Odegaard for us to see that Martin Odegaard at each 15 goal mark back again, because last season was not his best season. So I think Mikel Arteta will be under a lot of pressure to go out there to show workings, because if he does not win the league, you look at how much time Arsenal has given him. Look at how much backing Arsenal has given this guy. I think he does not have any excuse in this season not to win the league, because they've already spent close to £200 million now. If Arsenal go out there and sign a Berechi Eze, that takes it to close to 250 million. If Arsenal now bring a left winger, that could be easy 300 million spent. And if you calculate how much they've spent on that, Mikel Arteta is also getting close to the 1 billion mark. So for me, I think Arteta does not have any excuse not to go into this next season and win a major trophy, like Mike was saying. I think he's the coach that is under the most pressure to deliver. And Slot now, I think Slot is going into this season relaxed. Last season, he's coming off the back of winning the league last season, so he has money in the bank. He has some leverage. Pep Guardiola, he be the baba of them all for the league last, like as we all know. He has dominated the division in the last couple of years. He has nothing whatsoever to prove. So the man has a huge security on his back. Enzo Maresca is coming off a season where people did not expect him to qualify for top 4. He has qualified for top 4, and he went out there to win a European trophy in the Conference League. Some people might go out there and say it's a Mickey Mouse Cup. No wahala. He went to the Club World Cup and won the Club World Cup trophy. He's now champion of the world. So Enzo Maresca has also got some leverage. He has also got money in the back. So when you look at these managers, every finger is rightly pointing to Mikel Arteta as the one who is under the most pressure, and the club is backing him massively. So the guy no get excuse not to show working. He no get excuse not to win trophy. Me personally, if he does not win the trophy this season, make him pack him load, pack him Ekwaka back to sender, and bring in another manager that will take us. My brother, as I tell you, so just be making packing load, and we bring in another manager that will take us to the promised land. That's my take, Mike. Good to have you back, brother.
Yeah. So I had connection issues. This thing actually got disconnected. Yeah. So for Mikel Arteta, like you rightly said, he would be under the most pressure this season. But there's a particular manager in the Premier League which I must also want to talk about.
Amorim.
A particular manager in the Premier League who came with so much expectation. In fact, he has won league back to back. Came into the Premier League into a particular project that project was seen as a little bit very difficult at some point, because a couple of managers have tried in the last couple of seasons, Mourinho and the rest and all of them, after Sir Alex Ferguson, and it has not really worked out 100% to win the league. They win the league. Now, coupled with how their season went last season, Manchester United were the worst side of themselves in the last couple of seasons for last season. It was very, very bad last season. In fact, finishing 14th was one of the lowest points of Manchester United in a very, very long time. Bringing Rúben Amorim into the team from Sporting, who just won the league back to back, and he was flying in the
Sorry, Mike. Sorry to cut you. They finished 15. Don't take them one step higher.
Manchester United fans, apologies, but it is what it is, and even they given them more hope. But like I said, it was a very bad season for them, and to crown it all, they lost the Europa League. Now that was like the item because that was their only hope to get back into playing in Europe. That was the only way they could get back, and they lost that one. So at that point, a lot of fingers were not pointing at the coach because he just came. A lot of fingers were pointing at the owners because there's a way a club will fall in love with the coach. Most fingers will be pointing at the owners, and that might happen this season for Chelsea because Chelsea fans now are falling in love with Maresca. And the whole, if anything goes wrong at any point, the hands will be pointed back to the owners. But that being said, I'm talking about Manchester United now. This season, Amorim will be under pressure or not? It's a question. Now, before you speak concerning Amorim, they signed players this season. They signed Matis Cunha. They signed quite some players. They signed Mbeumo. They've signed some players already, right? And with Manchester United, they keep changing of coaches. How long will they continue changing coaches and everything? My question to you now is: one, will Amorim be under pressure? That's one. Secondly, that's due to their signings and how they were last season and everything. Secondly, what is the minimum expectation for Manchester United this season? Because they need to have a particular goal and objective they've set for themselves this season. All right. So let me know what you think about Manchester United, of course, before come in again.
Well, Manchester United is another club where the expectations are also high. And as our people will say, the Manchester United matter right now don't tire apart. People they talk say whether suffer don't they want turn to permit for Manchester United fans whether they use the robe every season, because just before the season starts, we saw the quote and the presser from Rúben Amorim where he was saying the club would suffer again this season. And you said you've already signed two big signings, Matheus Cunha and Brian Mbeumo, and that is also close to about 150 million already. And Manchester United will still spend more. The club will still go on and bring in a striker. They still need to sign a goalkeeper. So last season, a lot of people had excuses for Rúben Amorim, and he would also have some excuse to give that, okay, I did not start at the start of the season. I did not start with the preseason, but now it's going to be starting on a clean slate. Like many people would say, he does not have excuse. Now he's making his signings. He would also, let some players go in the bid to try to build his own team. Now he has a full preseason with the players. He has understand most of those players. This team is becoming more like the Amorim team, even though we know that there are still a lot of players that he did not sign. So, but he's become very familiar with this team. So now he needs to get Manchester United as high up as possible in the coming season and maybe get the team to play European football. But he has a huge chest and a huge mountain to climb in the first 10 games of the season for Manchester United. The first 10 fixtures are a banana peel for him. If he starts the season on a poor note where he loses a huge number of games, and Manchester United are struggling at the bottom of the table, like Organic was saying on one of my streams where we're talking about the coach, the guy might find it very difficult to be Manchester United manager by December. But if he's able to, get points in some of this game and keep Manchester United as high as possible in the table, then I think his job will be safe, because Manchester United now, they're in a very critical situation. They are finding themselves in waters that is not new to Manchester, that is new to Manchester United fans. Manchester United fans have never been in this position since I started to watch, but I never seen Manchester United for this place where they currently they are. I've not seen this low. My club, Arsenal, we were low at one point, but it was not this bad that we finished 15 in a season. And some people were even saying,
also, sorry. When Chelsea had this kind of situation, the following season they won the league. When Chelsea,
but you guys, You guys also did not finish this slow. You guys also did not
Yeah,
finish this
just to
slow.
finish 10th. It wasn't this bad like Manchester
Bad,
United.
exactly.
Manchester United own is really worse. Finishing
True.
15th, that was worse. That was really, really worse. So they need to do something different this season. So go ahead.
Exactly. So they need to get high up the table as soon as possible. And I think Amorim is currently under a lot of pressure because he's making big calls at the club. He has deemed a lot of big players at this club surplus to requirements. Marcus Rashford had issues with him. He deemed him surplus to requirement. Anthony also surplus to requirement. Garnacho now surplus to requirement. Sancho surplus to requirement. Malacia surplus to requirement. And these are players that Manchester United made a large chunk of investment in. Bar Marcus Rashford, who is an homegrown talent, a player from the academy. So he is also a coach who the club has given free hand to do what he wants. So he does not have excuse for this coming season. He needs to show working. He needs to get Manchester United to at least play in Europa at the end of the season. But anything short of that, I feel he would lose his job if he does not get the club as high up as possible in the season. And if he finishes below 10th position, in my opinion, I think it will not be Manchester United manager by next season. But he has a huge task in his hand in the first 10 games, because if the first 10 game does not go well for him and Manchester United are down the Premier League table, the fans might be calling for his head earlier than a lot of people even expect. So I think Amorim is another coach that is under a lot of pressure to perform. And if Manchester United spend anything close to 200 million now, Baba, I think he does not have excuse, because the club has equally backed him. They have given him two of the top players from the league last season in Mateus Cunha and Brian Mbeumo. Two players with massive figures last season. So I think the club has got goal scoring problem. They have given you players to help you. If they bring in a goalkeeper to show up the defense also, and bring in maybe one more player in midfield or defense, I think the club has equally backed him, and he does not have excuse. He needs to show working. He needs to show what he can do now. He needs to show that, okay, I'm the tactician, and Manchester United saw that this is the right coach for this club. So Rúben Amorim is currently under a lot of pressure right now. And Manchester United fans right now are giving him hits back to back. So he needs to put his house in order as soon as possible. I think there's a quote of Luke Shaw saying something today. I don't know if it was said today that their aim is to win the Premier League. That is the mentality of Manchester United. At a club as big as Manchester United, yes, we really laugh at them, but that is the how will I say, the expectation. That is the levels. That is the height. Yes, they expect to win the league every season, but in reality, they are no longer in that level again. But they are up there they are on that elite level club like your Real Madrid, where they expect to win the league every season. You understand? I'm an Arsenal fan, but I know that Manchester United is a bigger club compared to my club. You understand? The expectations there are way higher than at Arsenal. But on this current level now, Manchester United fans also need to face the current reality. This is not the Manchester United of old. This is not be Sir Alex Ferguson Manchester United. This Manchester United now, they will find it tough against any of the top teams. Any of the top teams, in my opinion, have a upper hand in every game that they will play them this coming season. So Manchester United also need to show that they want to go back to that big club that we all know. Like you said, Chelsea turned around the situation very quickly. So it also we also need to expect to see what Manchester United, how they would react, because now they are finding themselves in an unfamiliar terrain. So they need to react as soon as possible, because if they do not react as soon as possible, then it will take them a longer time for them to get back up on their feet in due time. So, but for me, I think Amorim is under a lot of pressure. I think he's among the managers who are under the most pressure the coming season. Amorim is there. If he's on the downward side of the Premier League table, Arteta is up there too, under a lot of pressure on the upside, because he needs to win. He needs to show working. He needs to bring a trophy to the Emirates Stadium. And Amorim needs to show that Manchester United need to be playing European football as soon as possible.
Okay. Now that's a very good one. Now for Kome, the thing now is, let me ask you now. Rúben Amorim coming from the Portuguese league, which is some would say he dominated the league. He won the league back to back. Coming into the Premier League is not really easy. To come into the Premier League with his own style of play. With that style of play, the only coach who has been very successful with that style of play is Antonio Conte. You know, yes, Guardiola tried it at some point, three at the back. He was successful at some point, but it was not all that successful because we all know how Antonio Conte is. He is a very, very vibrant manager, a manager who is playing with the team in the touchline, a very rugged kind of manager. Coming into the Premier League now, it is already showing that there are cracks to that formation. And if it's not well implemented going into the season, it might be on the downward trend for him at the end of the season because there's a way you would stick to one particular formation if you are not rigid, if you are too rigid as a coach, and it will affect you on the long run. Now, my question to you is two. Do you think that particular formation for Amorim this season would make Manchester United very successful by at least getting up the table and qualifying for Europe? That's one. Secondly, who is that player to watch out for Manchester United this season that might change their season?
To me, the formation, Manchester United, to me, what Amorim would have done would have stick with that everything style of play for some time. You just leave the players to play what they have been doing before you came in. Just like Arne Slot. He just do one or two tactical things. So what I expected from Amorim, not just you don't have your type of player you want to play that formation. You are still doing it, and it's killing you. You are doing the same thing. So to me, that formation, if I were to be Amorim, I'll give myself maybe 5 games of the season. Let me see what this formation will bring for me. If it brings success, okay, we'll continue. But if not, you have to have a plan B now before the season starts. Maybe throughout these friendly games, you'll be doing some experiments, just like the way we normally see Maresca. In training, Maresca might, if you remember, before we played the Club World Cup final, Maresca asked Kuku to play like defensive midfield. He's just trying to implement, to see things, just trying some new things to know what, in case for future, he's a tactical junior, so we know what Maresca can do. So Amorim needs to like big up the game, change some certain things, get the players he wants to play that type of formation. If you look, the back three, those right and left wingers, they can pull front and pull back. Their work is to defense and attack at the same time. Just like we see with Alonso and Victor Moses then with Antonio Conte in Chelsea.
Yeah.
So Amorim needs those type of players to do it. And the players he needs is the player that can attack and same time defend. So another star player I'm looking at Mayu that this season that can spark up Mayu is Cunha and Bremo and Fernandes. Both of those three players, I know what they can do, but Fernandes need to like big up his game too. He cried like baby too much in football matches. So I want to see what Mayu can do this season, play good football. We know the way the Premiership used to be like. In those days, we used to have 4 big teams, not 6. Nice that we have about 6 or 8 now. So the competition in the Premiership is becoming competitive every day. Everybody's trying to improve in one way or the other. New football tactics is coming up. Not like those old ways of Jose Mourinho then score one goal and defend your game. Those tactics doesn't work anymore. If you look now, most managers, people are employing tactical managers and want to see a new style of football, tiki-taka football, pass the ball, play the ball with your players, not like just like the way, Arsenal football, not like the way Stoke City in those days. We know Stoke City, what they can do. We know them. So This is the type of football we want to play. But when you want to play those type of football, you need to have those players that can play what you want. That you can. Okay, this player can do what I want. So this is player I want. And Manchester United, we can see they are trying to cut costs down because of money. They are trying to cut costs down because they don't have the finance right now to pull a big deal for any big player now. So, to me, Manchester United need to be very, very calm with this coach because I can see he's a good coach, but Manchester United is too big for that guy. This is not Portuguese league. Amorim cannot coach a team from championship to come back to premiership. He can never. I bet you that. Premiership is not a play game. You have to have the tactics. You have the mind. If you look last season, some certain game, Amorim almost cried. So Premiership is not a play game. So I really want Manchester United to do well this season. Let's have that fun. When you are playing a big team, you are playing a big team. When you are watching a big team, Manchester United is a big team. The Theatre of Dream, Red Devils, those names we used to call them there. But during the time of Sir Alex Ferguson, we can see Manchester United can score 2 goals in the space of 2 minutes. They can win you matches. They can win you
time.
Yes. But right now, it's not happening again because the world have changed. Football have changed a lot. VAR is there. These different type of decisions coming every day. I know football is a contact sport, but these days, any small tackle, red card, it's not like the way we used to watch it then, 2002, 2003, 2004, the Drogba, those times. We watch football. You know how football used to sweet then, but now VAR will take a time. It's not like the way we used to enjoy football anymore. So I really hope to see Manchester United do well, and they need a striker. But don't be surprised. This boy will surprise so many people this season. William, they are number 9. He's going to score a lot of goals this season. I can bet you that. Because the boy has, yes.
Højlund,
has been working so hard.
I actually agree with you with Højlund.
I can see him doing something this season for Manchester United. Maybe
Højlund last season, there was so much chances that was created for Højlund last season. But trust me, he has proven that he is not meant for the Premier League. Trust me, because you might have a difficult first season. But trust me, with what we've seen last season for Manchester United with Højlund, that guy has a lot to learn. Yes, he's very young. He has played in the Italian league, but he looks like a player that has a lot to learn, before playing for a club like Manchester United. Trust me, because of how he flopped so many chances last season for Manchester United. He was not able to impact the team. At some points, it was injured. Zexi came in at some point. But that being said, I think Højlund being the number 1 striker with having Kuya and Mbeumo, it will be hard.
They can help him.
That's what I think.
If you remember last season, Garnacho was very, very stingy with ball. Garnacho cannot bring a good crossing into the box. Same thing, Ahmed Dallo, same thing. The only person that can fire ball, maybe Dallo, Bruno Fernandes, that can bring in good crosses to the 18-yard box.
Yeah.
So Manchester United, they need a team play, not just let me show them what I can do. We just need that team play for Manchester United, not Garnacho stingy football type of play. It's not that type of play Manchester United need. I'm very happy they go to Cunha and Mbeumo. Mbeumo can assist very well. Cunha, the same is a key player for Manchester United. So let's see what will happen. They have this little boy there, Obi there. Obi can have a break season, can score a lot of goals.
And Ahmad is also a very good player that has a lot to showcase this season.
So
that's a good. So before we wrap up, let's quickly touch Manchester City. Then we'll talk about each of the marquee signings this season. Then we'll wrap up. Now let's talk about Manchester City. From of course, last season for Guardiola, it was not the best of season for him. Last season for Guardiola was one season that Guardiola would love to forget. because of how it was with him, in the last couple of seasons that he dominated English football, won everything, won the Champions League. A whole lot went well for him. Let's not take away anything away from that, because he's one of the best managers in the world and one of the best managers the world has ever produced. Now, he made major signings, like from the start of the year. In fact, Guardiola was the first coach to start signing players this year. Started with Mamouche, started with Kusenov, started with Reyes, started with a whole lot of players actually came into this Manchester City team. Some players lost form drastically, the likes of Grealish. Most of them lost form drastically, and a whole of them. So he started from January, he started rebuilding after the last years, towards the end of last fall of Manchester City. He started rebuilding January. It didn't stop there. It continued up to this season. All right. This summer rather. We have the likes of who has come into the squad? Tejani Reinders.
Tejani Reinders, Ryan Cherky.
The guy Cherky came into the squad. They've been signing players already. The Ants Nuri, who came from Wolves.
Ants Nuri, the left
now
back.
They are also interested in signing Livramento from Newcastle. They are already this year, Manchester City have signed up to 8 players or more. Trying to Echeverry just came into the team and he might go on loan. So they have a very good squad and they're already buying players, and some might leave already. Let's not forget Nico Gonzalez, who came from Porto, to replace what's his name? Rodri, who was injured at the time. So they've been signing that, they've been rebuilding. Now, spending that amount of money for Manchester City, we all know how good Guardiola is. Guardiola always challenged for title, apart from what happened last season and the first season he came and all of that. We understand what happened. But that being said, right, this season, would Guardiola be under any form of pressure? That's one. With the players that has come into the squad for Manchester City, what is the minimum expectation for them this season? All right, and who is that signing to look out for this season? Let me hear your thoughts.
Well, for me, I think if one would say Pep would not be under pressure, we know as managers, football club managers will always be under pressure to perform. I think during one of his pressers quite recently was talking about how he would want to take a time off after the time at Manchester City. That's also to tell you that the pressure of him working at that high level is also getting to him. We know that he had some personal issues as of last season. So the man is also, he would face a lot of pressure to perform. I think he was also saying that he had games where last season the fans in the stadium were shouting, "You will lose your job, you will lose your job." All of this would get to the managers. They are human beings. They get feelings also. So, in my opinion, Pep will also be under pressure to show that, okay, because there is this notion out there that your reign has expired. Now we have a new sheriff in town. Now we have a new king. And Liverpool are making it look like, guy, your time don't pass. Now we are the new guys. Now we be the new Egbon for this hood now, because the way Liverpool are moving in this market, they are moving like they want to dominate the division for the next couple of years. That's the kind of financial statement they are making. It's also remain for us to see if they will be able to replicate that also in the field of play, because that's the way Liverpool have moved. They have moved like Man City's era to dominate is over. Now we are the guys who want to dominate also. So it's also left for Pep to show that my time has not passed. We can also win the league. We can also show work. We can also deliver. So I think Pep also have that, notion out there. But I think in terms of the Man City group, in terms of the Man City fans, if Pep don't win anything for the next couple of years, Man City fans cannot complain, because Pep took them and turned them into a machine. Pep turned them into a monster of a team. Before the season starts, we all know that Man City will win the league. We say it. We sit down and on streams, wherever we talk about football, and say that Man City has the favorite to win the league. That's kudos to Pep Guardiola and what he has done. A lot of people want to put it down to the money that I spent and all of that. Guy, I'm going to tell ourselves the truth. All the clubs are spending money. All the top clubs are spending money. But it's not just about spending. Pep has been able to spend money and do it effectively well to build a team that will dominate the division. To build a team that has also gone out there to win the Champions League the first time in their history. So the man has done a lot for this club. I don't think Man City fans would complain. I think the pressure that he would feel would not be coming from the club. It will be coming from outside sources. It will not be coming from the owners. The owners also want to keep him. But we as opposition fans, we want to banter Man City. We want to tell Pep Guardiola that, Baba, you know the rain again. No? Now we can beat you. Now this team can beat you. Now this team can. So I think it would be facing that pressure from the outside, from the media, because the media will continue to put it out there in the headline. If they lose big games against the big team, is Pep Guardiola's reign in the Premier League over? You will see on the front line of the newspaper. We, the streamers, who will come on streams, who will talk about it. Football fans will talk about it. So I think at some point when the pressure starts building from the outside sources, it will also gradually creeping into the club. So I think right now, Pep does not really have more pressure coming from the City fans. They are okay. They know that Pep has turned them into a massive football club in terms of the trophy they have won in the last decade. And also the owners know that they have one of the best managers in the world, if not the very best. Some people might argue that Pep Guardiola is still the best manager in the world. So, but I think, yes, it will be under pressure, but the pressure for Pep will not be coming too much from in-house. I think outside, and I think it will be more on the media side and the opposition fans. But when it comes to the signings, Baba, Pep Guardiola has made good signings. Aït-Nouri is one of the best offensive left back in the division. I know somebody who have been shouting on top of his voice that this guy should be playing for one of the biggest clubs in the league and in the world for a very long time, because this, my friend, is a scouting coach. He's a player who has a eye for talent. He has been saying it for a long time that this guy is due. So when he made the move, we were all telling him that, Baba, you have been making this call for a long time. And in Ryan Cherki, they have also signed a player who is very attacking minded, a player who is very offensive, a player who is very creative, a player who has that drive to play attacking football. I know that you've all seen the quote Mike and Come where he was saying, is the player who wants the fans to enjoy his football. Is the player who wants to, make you come to the stadium and, say, guy, you can't watch football today. You see skills, you see attacking football. But the problem that I have with the signing of Ryan Cherki is if he would get the kind of freedom that he wants to play from what he has said, the kind of football under Pep Guardiola, because we know that Pep Guardiola is the kind of manager who wants to control things. He wants to control almost every sequence of the game. He wants to be coaching on the sideline. So for a player like Ryan Cherki who wants to express himself, they might have issues. We've seen Pep Guardiola have issues with players who have similar profile to Ryan Cherki, the likes of Enzo Maresca. He had issues playing under Pep Guardiola. So I think Ryan Cherki would also learn to play to Pep's instruction. You understand? So I think a Ryan Cherki is a player that me personally, I think I would enjoy to watch as a fan of the game. In Nuri, they've signed a good player. Tijjani Reinders is also one of the highly rated box-to-box midfielders out there. I think they have signed good players, but I also think they will still need some time. I think City will still need some time in this coming season because, like you said, they are also going through a rebuilding phase. But yet again, a lot of people are also keen to see if Rodri will be able to, replicate the kind of form we've seen for him before he went on that long layoff with the ACL injury. Because we've seen some players have this ACL injury and do not remain the same player again. But in Rodri, I think they have their main leader in that midfield back. So it will be an interesting one. I think their team is so strengthened going into the next season. But it will be interesting to see if these guys will be able to hit the ground running, especially for the new guys, especially for the new signing, because now they've lost Walker, who is one of the leaders in the team, and Rodri. We don't know which version of Rodri we will be seeing in the near future. So it's interesting to see how Pep would try to build this team now. The kind of starting 11 we put out, because we've seen some of the key contributors also struggle. We saw Phil Foden, who won the player of the season 2 seasons back, going into last season, he struggled and he flopped last season. So we're also keen to see what version of Phil Foden we are going to see in the next season. So it will be an interesting one to see what Manchester City will do. I think they will still be up there as one of the title contenders, but they don't go into the season as the favorite to win it, as we've seen in the last couple of years. So their power has also reduced. So, but let's see what's going to happen with Manchester City and Pep Guardiola. But they've signed a lot of interesting players, in my opinion, players who would, as fans of football, would like to watch.
Absolutely, you've actually broken it down. You've said a lot concerning Manchester City. So before we wrap up now, let's pick each team and out of the signings they've made this season, which of this particular signing would do something different, would change the team? Which of this signing is the best? It might not be the biggest, but the best signing. We'll start with you, Kome. For Chelsea, as a Chelsea fan, Chelsea have signed Pedro Neto, Pedro Jao Pedro. Chelsea have signed who again came to the team? Bino Gittins. Esteval is into the team right now. Some other signings Chelsea have made already this season. Chelsea just signed Hato, already this season. Which player, is the best signing for Chelsea that Chelsea have made this season, and why?
To me, I will go for two players, and the two players will be our strikers, Joao Pedro and Delap. Because we have been crying last season for our number 9, the main number 9. Jackson has been missing a lot of chances. You can see that for yourself. Last season, we complained a lot about Jackson. So I'm looking at Delap. The person I'm seeing in Delap is Harry Kane. He's playing football like Harry Kane. Like when Team Sherwood introduced Harry Kane to the Premiership, then I was just like, this is Harry Kane. He's playing like Harry Kane. He has the strength, he has the speed, he has the power to bully defenders just like Diego Costa. We have missed that type of player a lot in Chelsea. This morning I was watching 2015-2017 season when we had Diego Costa bullying defenders. I was just smiling. I said, wow, since the Drogba and Diego Costa, I've not really seen a good striker like them. Bully defenders like the way we know Chelsea traditional number 9, they bully defenders, they are strong, they can score goals. When you head in, leg, anywhere, they can give you goals from outside the box, inside the box. You have a number 9 that can give you 20 to 15 goals each season for you to win the league. And Joao Pedro is another talented Brazilian player. You can see what he did in the FIFA Club World Cup. Just 11 days, he's a world champion already. He came on after holiday. He came on after some minutes. He scored 2 goals. And in the final, you can see what he did in that final, what Nicola Jackson could not do. If it were to be Nicola Jackson that Palmer gave that through ball, Jackson would like to run the keeper up, just blast the ball to the keeper. But this is a Brazilian player playing like Ronaldo. You just give it the little chip inside the net. You are confident. That boy can give you 15 to 20 league goals this season. We have a good strikers like Delap and Pedro. I'm very, very excited to see what they will do this season for Chelsea, to see where they are how many goals they are going to score, where Chelsea is going to land this season. So I'm excited to see them. And Gittins too, that boy is another fire. Gittins, Kai. I was watching him train which day. Man, that boy has this fast legs.
Yeah, footwork.
Speed, man, and the force. That boy has force in his leg. He has shots, man. What we have been lacking from Sancho last season. Sancho, the only ball Sancho shoots against Tottenham, he scored a nice goal.
And also in the final of the Conference League.
Yes, he scored a nice goal. So you can see that right wing for Gittins is confirmed. I can't wait to see Chelsea play this season. I'm very, very excited to watch my team this season play and see what they can do this season. I'm very, very excited. I just want to see the old players. Maresca can fit them into their team, their various places, give them the key roles to play. Palmer is another exciting player. I can't stop watching Palmer. Even if Palmer is not in the game, leave Palmer there because he can do something at the 10 minutes.
Yes, at any time. And he showed that in the Conference League final.
Yes, yes.
When he said the first half, he was off the team, he was off the game. Like in the second half, he showed what he's capable and he got 2 assists in the second half.
He said something about that Conference League final. About the first ball, if you notice, Palmer was taking the ball back. But no, he said no. This time I'm not taking that ball back. Let me beat this player, and he beat and he crossed. You see the goal, the 2 goals, one for Jackson and the other one. He provided assists for the goals. So Palmer is a player that I can't wait to watch this season. I just pray we can protect Palmer. And 2, Estavo is coming. So Estavo is just like another Palmer too. I just pray injury does not disrupt Chelsea football this season. That's my own take on it.
Yes, you've actually touched it a whole lot. Now, for Arsenal fan, for us as an Arsenal fan, who are you really looking forward to this season? We already know because Arsenal have signed some players already, but there's only one player that is all Arsenal fans' favorite. And as a rival fan, I respect that signing. I love that signing. That is a signing that Arsenal has been yearning for. They just need a striker. They needed somebody that could change something in attack.
Exactly.
They needed that big name in attack. They don't just need a developing striker. They need a ready-made, experienced goal poacher, deadly finisher in attack. And that's what you've got with Victor Gyökeres. So tell me, let's because that's the name you will call, because you will not tell me that Madueke is your best signing this season. Tell me, who's the best signing this season for your club as an Arsenal fan, and why? While I also we've already spoken about Manchester City, so I'm going to talk about Liverpool. Then we all round up with Manchester United, and we'll call it a day. So
well, for me, I think you already let the cat out of the bag, because I said going into this window, the striker was a non-negotiable for me as an Arsenal fan, and not be just say we just go market buy striker. We bought a striker who I would associate with goal scoring first, because for me, I think goal scoring and finishing has let us down. If you remember the UEFA Champions League game, the second leg against PSG, the first 25 minutes of that game, we played PSG ball. I think we replicated what PSG did to us at the Emirates Stadium in the first 25 minutes, how they caged us and make sure that we could not play. But they took their chances in that first 25 minutes to decide the game. And we did the same thing to them in Paris, but score goal, na wahala, score goal, na problem. So now Arsenal has a threat through the middle, because if you notice something with the Arsenal attacking trend last season, most of our attack were only on the right side, and teams were just, okay, since the right side Arsenal won't use, put 2 to 3 players on Bukayo Saka. We had next to nothing threat. Yes, because when you shook Saka, shook that side, problem not there. Sometimes Saka can still, cut him, because we saw it against Real Madrid. He also tried to make sure that he caused those free kick. Declan Rice scored from the free kick. You understand? But against PSG, they made sure that, they closed that right side very well. And Mendes had a fantastic game. So, but now the striker gives us, I think, more option. And why a lot of us are saying, okay, now, since you've gotten the striker, take it to the next level and get a left winger. So the attacking threat now will not be on the 3 sides of the attack, through the middle and through the left, because our left side, they produce anything. Martinelli and Leandro Trossard, they are not the answer. For me, Trossard is more of a super sub, more of a bench player, comes into the game and try to make impact. Martinelli, for me, his improvement has stagnated. We need an upgrade on that left wing. But so far, the signing for me has to be Victor Gyökeres. And it's not a mistake that is the player who has sold more jersey for Arsenal right now in this transfer window. And the number of JC he has sold has been a record for Arsenal. The number of JC. So that's to tell you that this is the player who unanimously the Arsenal fans agree that so far this is the best signing so far, because the player that is going to come in. Because I may not tell you now, Mike, so when it comes to this striker, the first thing I want to think about this player is, can the player finish? If the player is true on goal, if he gets chance, he go fit score. And that is, that is what you can say with respect to Victor Gyökeres. I think when you talk about Victor Gyökeres, the first thing that comes to your mind is goal scoring. He will score goals for you. And this guy, who is somebody I think is built for the Premier League, is strong, is fast. I think I look him like the kind of striker. He has the kind of physicality of your Diego Costas, a striker who would not be bullied by defenders in terms of size. A striker who, if it comes down to, that physicality he will be of the Premier League, he will be able to hold his own. He's a big boy. And a lot of people look at him and feel like, okay, his game is only in the box. I would disappoint those people and tell them that this guy can be a threat outside the box too. If you notice him, he also scores outside the box. He can score from outside the box. He has a good shot and can finish. So for me, Victor Gyökeres so far is the best signing, because he's a player that gives us another dimension. A player that had something that we does not have, which is goal threat through the middle, which is finishing, he has something that Arsenal attack does not have. Because if you look at the Arsenal attack now, which of them has scored 20 goals before in their career? None of them have. He is the player who's coming with that big profile. He's the player who's coming with that big mentality. And coupled with the fact that he was willing to take that number 14 shirt, because that number 14 shirt is no ordinary shirt at Arsenal. That shirt comes with pressure. Yes, they wanted to give him number 10, you understand, but it was like, "Make gonna give me the 14. That 14, I want it." So that is also telling me that this player, yes, that this player wants the challenge. He's looking for the challenge. He's looking to come to Arsenal and write his name in the club's history. So for me, why Arsenal fans also love him is how he pushed for the move. He pushed his club. He was willing to let go money. He was willing to go into a battle with his club. So all of these things have made him a darling, has made him, how call it, a sweetheart of the Arsenal fans. Even before he play ball, people don't already like him. Say, this guy, he wants to be here. He wants to be part of us. He wants to be one of us. So for me, Gyökeres so far is the best side. I even have people who are Arsenal fans who already have the Victor Gyökeres jersey already before he play ball. You understand? That's to tell you how the guy has won his way into the heart of the fan base. So Gyökeres right now is the biggest signing for me, is the marquee signing for me for Arsenal. And you also saw the video now, Mike, the video of Miles Lewis Kelly, where he was gassed, where he was happy about Victor Gyökeres coming. That's the player of the team. When he saw the year we go, that's the player of the team. That's the player. He was that excited. He was that happy that, guy, we are bringing in one of the most clinical forward right now out there in Europe. So for me, I think that's the statement signing. That's the big signing. But I'm also keenly looking at a potential arrival of Eberechi Eze. Eze is the player that I love, a player that I like to watch. If you like good football, you like, that Nigerian kind of number 10 of old, you will like Eze. Eze gives the vibe of, the kind of the Wilson Oruma kind of number 10. A number 10 who is skillful, a number 10 who can score goals, a number 10 who can assist. So for me, if Arsenal add Eze join, that will be icing on the cake. And if they can get a left winger, I go there very excited going into the season. And I'll be hoping that there will be a lot of big things for Arsenal Football Club come next season, in my opinion.
Connection issue. Sorry.
Yeah. I think the same thing on my end because I thought everyone froze and
Yeah.
I could not. Yeah. So, but like I was saying, Victor Gyökeres for me has been a fantastic signing. I think it's a signing that brings solution to the number 9 problem, but I don't think Arsenal is still finished yet. I think Arsenal still need to go out there and bring in a left wing specialist, a left winger, a person in the mode of like your Rodrigo Goes, Rafael Leo, Ademola Lookman, a player who will be better than Martinelli and Leandro Trossard. If Arsenal can sort out that left wing, I will go into the season very confident that we'll go and come out at the end of the season with a key trophy, in my opinion.
So that's coming from a real diehard Arsenal fan who understand the signings of Arsenal, who understand how the club plays and how the club wants to play. Because he has so much expectation this season, and I hope he won't be disappointed. Because trust me, Chelsea might shock everybody and challenge for that title. But that being said, let me round up with this Manchester United because we've already spoken about Chelsea. We've spoken about Arsenal. Now let me talk about Liverpool first. Then we all round up with Manchester United. Now for Liverpool, I think the signing of the season, he has to be Florian Wirtz because Isak is not here yet, so we can't say anything about that. He has to be Florian Wirtz in the sense that this guy lit up the German Bundesliga. The German Bundesliga is for the last 2 seasons, Florian Wirtz has been one of the most creative players, most chances created, and everything when it comes to creativity in the midfield came from Florian Wirtz. And he has shown what he can do. For him, leaving Bayer Leverkusen for over 120 million shows the talent he possesses and shows the prospects in front of him. Being one of the best attacking midfielders in the whole of Europe in the next couple of seasons. So what a signing for Liverpool for Florian Wirtz, because yes, I was thinking, because Florian Wirtz also is a versatile player. Initially, I was thinking, but asking about Liverpool has Szoboszlai. Where is Florian Wirtz going to play? But trust me, you cannot buy the player that with that amount of money and put him on the bench. He has to start. He has to play. So whatever you want to play him, you have to play him. But this is a player that can make a difference. This is a player that when Mohamed Salah is off, in the game, Florian Wirtz can produce a moment of magic. And this is the kind of player Liverpool has actually brought in. They understand how good he is. They understand how clinical he is when it comes to goal scoring, his passes, his line breaking passes, and everything. I think Florian Wirtz is one of the best players to actually grace the Premier League this season, coming from abroad. Because trust me, he took Bayer Leverkusen to the final of the Europa League. They went unbeaten, until the last. I don't know if they completed it or until the last few games of the season for Bayer Leverkusen, as they won the league. He was very, very pivotal to that squad. He was seeing everything was coming through him, in that midfield. He scores goals, he makes assists, he line breaking passes, ball carries, everything when it comes to creativity in that Bayer Leverkusen side. So to me, yes, Liverpool has made signings, Frimpong, Kekes, Ekitike, and all of that into the team. But the major marquee signing to me for the Liverpool team has to be Florian Wirtz, because this guy is a very, very good. It might not be too much skillful, but when it comes to breaking down low block teams, when it comes to opening up teams, when it comes to giving Salah and those passes, I think this guy is a go-to guy. It's sad they've already lost Ruben Diaz, to Bayern Munich. I think they're still going to bring in another left winger. But to me, for Liverpool goal scoring, creativity, and all of that, Florian Wirtz has to be that player, to go to. So that's the marquee signing they made. That is the stated signing they've made. And that is the Liverpool best signing to me for this season. Now, let's round up with Manchester United best signing of the season. They've made 2 signings. Now, Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha. So, Kome, you just talk about Mbeumo while I first talk about Matheus Cunha, and that will be it for today.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, yeah. So, what do you think about Mbeumo to this Manchester United side? What do you think of his signing?
Bruno is a very, very good sign to Manchester United because we all saw what Bruno have been doing in Brighton, Brentford for the past how many seasons? Last season, he scored, if I'm not mistaken, 20 league goals, right?
Yeah, 20 league goals, like
So,
10 assists.
20, yeah.
yeah, so you can see his numbers. It was a really, really vital player last season for them. So it's a good addition to Manchester United. So Manchester United are very, very lucky to have him in their team this season, and I can't wait to see him play. I just want to see him the goals and the assists he got last season. I want to see him replicate that in Manchester United this season for Manchester United.
Yeah,
So we all will be excited to watch him this new season.
yeah. So that's a very good one because he produced 20 goals and 10 assists thereabout for Manchester United last season. Him and Willian, they did so well with at Brentford. So it will be a very good signing, it will be a very, very good signing for Manchester United. So let's round up with Matis Cunha for applause. We'll call it a day.
Matheus Cunha was also one of the big performers last season, getting 15 goals, 6 assists from Wolverhampton Wanderers. I think he was one of the players who was also, highly sought after among some of the top clubs in the league. I think at one point they were linking him with move to Arsenal also. But personally, I was not really. I do not really fancy Matheus Cunha that much. But Manchester United has gotten a player who is versatile. One of the key qualities of Cunha is his versatility. He can play in different positions, can play as the number 9, can play as a number 10, can play as a winger for you. So I think Manchester United has got a player that would give them variety, a player that will give them different options, and it comes with that goal threat. It comes with that creativity because he can also create for his teammates. But I think some of the concerns some people have with Mateus Cunha sometimes might be, some of his attitude and all of that. But I think with players who are fucking players who have that flair, they might, come with one or two attitude baggages. But it will be interesting to see if he will be able to replicate the kind of form we saw him dish out in that Wolverhampton Wanderers team, because at Manchester United now the pressure is higher, the stake are higher. You are playing at a bigger club. If you were small, if you were a big fish before, that was in a small river. Now you are going into a big river, an ocean in Manchester United, where people are expecting a lot from you. People are expecting you to come from day one and try to show work and try to, deliver results, deliver goals, and deliver assists. So Mateus Cunha will be having big expectations because also Manchester United have signed him on a big transfer. So with the big transfers come big expectations. So I think he's going to be playing under a very different atmosphere. Manchester United now, they are in a difficult time. This is a difficult time in the club's history. So definitely the fans will be pushing these guys who have come in under big signing fees, Mateus Cunha, Brian Mbeumo, to deliver. So it will be interesting to see if Mateus Cunha will be able to do it when the stakes are high, when the pressure are also high. But I think Manchester United have got their self in a decent player, but with me personally, I've loved it. If my club has paid that much for Mateus Cunha, I would not agree, because I think Manchester United paid above the value for Mateus Cunha. But yes, Cunha is not a bad player. Cunha is a player that will give Manchester United fans something exciting, something of a joy to watch out for in terms of what he can bring on the pitch. But I don't think, for me, I think personally, the most exciting or I would be excited about if I was a Manchester United fan, as a football fan, I think is Brian Mbeumo, in my opinion. I rate Brian Mbeumo higher than Mateus Cunha. This is just my personal preference. Some people might prefer Mateus Cunha, but I think Brian Mbeumo is the Manchester United signing that I would say is the biggest one for me.
Yeah. So that's a very huge one, and
Hmm.
That's it for today. I want to appreciate your presence for with us today. Kome, a diehard Chelsea fan who has actually brought his expertise to today's live video, and also a post from Football in Pigeon, who has been a diehard Arsenal fan. He understands the club, how the club is run. Hopefully, he will be one of Arsenal new sporting directors in the years to come. A very well versed Arsenal fan. I'm so happy to have you guys here. It's a huge pleasure to have you guys here, and I would love to do this again. Some other time. I'm so grateful to you guys. Coming here, giving us your expertise and knowledge about the game, about the beautiful game of football, your club, without any sentiment, without any of those. So if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, very, very important. Share your thoughts in the comments, hit the notification bell anytime you watch this. We'd love to have your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to hit the like button, and let us know where we could find our guests. Now, for comment, where can they find you? Which social media can they find you?
Instagram
At
Komebiz1 at.
Okay. And also Football in Pigeon, where can the viewers actually find you?
Well, you can find me on at Football in Pigeon on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. That's where you find me, where I put out content for all football fan. I'm an Arsenal fan, though, but if you can rightly see, there's a Manchester United jersey behind me. I put out content all round for the game, where I put out, a lot of times I try to, be as professional as possible and say that it is. Whether I consign my club, whether I don't consign my club, I call it spade is spade. But it's been a pleasure to be on the stream today. Thanks for having me on the stream. Big up, Kome. Nice to meet you, my brother.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Now, don't forget to subscribe yet again. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Until I come away again next time, I remain your boy, Mike Way. Stay cool. Cheers.
Good night.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We're still live. We're in the stream.